I've heard that life is what you make it. I say make room to grow. I'm your host, LaWanda Dockery, and this is the Make Room to Grow podcast. It all started with a dream about growing food, and who would ever imagine that growing food would lead to me learning about personal growth and development? Well, it did, and I want to bring you along for this beautiful ride. Thank you so much for joining me. Hello, Grow Nation. I hope this finds you well, and I hope this finds you eager to get out in your garden and do some work and grow some stuff. Guys, I am so happy to be with you today. Today, I want to talk about being under pressure. My goodness, this is the first year where I can say my husband and I are experiencing immense pressure from pests and insects and external circumstances out in the garden. So I left you all with a cliffhanger last episode. Just stay tuned because I'll have updates on that in episodes to come. Today, I wanted to really just talk about the fact that I needed to start my entire container garden on my back porch all over again. So as we're approaching a time where I would be harvesting lots of veggies, I have to start over. And it's okay. I'm okay with that. I started to look through my strawberries that was on the top of my tower, my garden stalk tower, and they were completely infested with earwigs. If you've not seen earwigs, they're these insects that have pinchers on the end of them. And my strawberries had holes in them. The shape was irregular. When I pulled back the leaves and looked into the soil, they were running over with these bugs. So I literally plucked up everything and I started over, emptied the containers, put them back way in the back of our yard, put some diatomaceous earth on it, and I started over. So the first thing I'll say is when you're under pressure, you want to really get to the root of what's going on. We saw the manifestation through these bugs, but what was the root of it? We were having soil that was too moist. We didn't get a lot of sun up until that point. The strawberry leaves were hanging over the top of the tower, and it was really a haven for those types of bugs. So we opened everything up, pulled everything up from the root. There was a point where I was going to try to save some of the strawberry runners and propagate those and grow those again. But I really was just disgusted and over the whole thing. So I threw it all out and started over. What did it really cost me to start over? I ordered 5 bags of black cow manure and I purchased 1 bag of Pro Mix soil, which is mostly cocoa coir. It didn't cost me $1 million. Maybe that was $50 from my local big box store. Let me add a side note. At the beginning of the season, I know in the previous episodes, I talked about the strawberry fields soil that Fox Farms makes. Not going to say it's the soil. I will just say that you don't have to spend that much money on your soil. This is why I'm going back to the basics of my black cow and my Pro Mix because it's not $1 million. I spent $35 per bag on the strawberry fields only to have to throw it away. So just keep that in mind when you're moving about in your garden and when you're refreshing your soil. It's okay to get something that's not so pricey. You just want to make sure that it's organic. The black cow, I cannot confirm that it's 100% organic, but I have used it. That is something that I would encourage you to investigate on your own. Even if you did something like the Pro Mix, which I know is organic, and you did worm castings, or you just put some sort of fertilizer in there that was organic, maybe blood meal, bone meal, fish emulsion, something like that, that would be just fine. And you would know that it's all organic. So the reality is we still have certain pests. We still have groundhogs. And I don't know that we're going to figure out how to relocate them or how to really get rid of that pest pressure. We'll have to just move and work around it. Maybe putting up fencing, which we really have not done yet. So there's always the prospect of planting more than you need because you know that they're going to want some of your food. So you plant some for them and plant some for you. The main goal is that you want what you want out of the garden. You want your food. You want to put something fresh on your family's plate, and that's it. You won't always have favorable circumstances to work with. But when you get under pressure and you don't succumb to it, don't fold, don't throw in the towel and say, I don't want to do this. I could have. I was very, very frustrated with the fact that my garden, we're midsummer or close to midsummer, and I have to start over. But thank God I can start over. Like, what if I didn't have the mindset to start over? What if I just threw in the towel? We can't let this one thing or a series of events beset us and throw us back. Instead, let that make you dig deeper and become more creative and innovative as to how you're going to guard your food against these pests. It's yours. You have dominion over yours. The good thing about starting over or being under pressure is that you might get something new out of the deal that you never knew you would get. So now I have my okra that I've been trying to grow all season from seed, and it kept being eaten up. I have an okra that is well on its way. I bought that as a start. I have some Cubanelle peppers. I have some Mad Hatter peppers that are growing. I have some Hungarian hot wax peppers. I still have my green tomatoes. I'm so ever so hopeful. I'm waiting for it to really heat up long enough to get some tomatoes. I'm not giving up. I have my marigolds that I hope are going to flower for me that I grew from seed. I have a sunflower, and I don't want to put too much on this sunflower, but I'm hoping that it will head up. It's a couple of feet tall now, and so I am ever so hopeful about that. You just have to look at the positives in this. You have to make lemonade out of lemons. I have some chives that I've started. I have some basil that I've started by seed. So these are all things that I'm planting from seed and hopeful that we'll get a harvest. We planted some string beans, again, with some basil. And so we're just hoping. Cucumbers we planted again because we've not been successful with that this year. When you come under pressure, I want you to take it as a challenge that you have a worthy goal that you need to get to, an end goal. And I want you to look at the challenge as a way that you can be unique and creative about how you get to that end goal, despite the challenges, the obstacles, the pressure. So guys, until next time, I want you to be intentional about those areas in your life where you are going to make room to grow.